sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Okay. Yeah. So welcome everybody and hello. This is Andrew David, Blake Newbar's partner program. We're getting into Facebook. So today will be an introduction Monday through Friday this next week. If you can show up live, we're going to be getting deep into all sorts of different elements of Facebook. I'm going to bring on some people during that time. So if you've got questions concerning Facebook, make sure that you've got them ready. Now, these folders that are these slides that I'm sharing with you guys, you've already got access to. They're already inside the Google Drive doc that I've given you. That's inside the Skype group. I'll share that link again. Save it. Go through it, make copies of different things for yourself as you look at it, right? So the folder, just to kind of show you guys what's in it one more time. Where am I at? Here we go. So inside of here, you've got different elements, different trainings. Oh, maybe it's not in here. All right, well, I'm going to add these folders in then as soon as we're done. So what to post and when to post. Now, this training we've done before, but a lot of these elements are inside of Blake's partner program already. Section 9, inside the dashboard, Blake teaches you what to post, when to post, and different types of engagement posts. Okay, so there's different things here. So I'm going to get a little more in depth with this next week. I recommend you go in and watch it. Inside the dashboard, you can log in. And right here, underneath the engagement templates, module 58, study some of this because this is what we'll talk about this next week. If you have the accelerator, it's not under section 9. I want to say it's under section 11. Okay. It's slightly different in the accelerator. So it's going to be here. Yeah, module 72 in the accelerator. So same type of education there. Now, you guys also have in the accelerator the traffic explosion things. I'm not going to get into that stuff right now. All right. So this training, we're going to get into this next week, and I'll share the stuff, what to post, when to post, understanding how social media should be used as a tool for your business. And yeah, if you want to stay relevant, if you want to build this up, you've got to do that. So how do we do that? That we're going to get into now. Quick overview of social media use, just to kind of remind you guys what's there. 4.6 billion social media users, which is a lot, just so you know. That means a lot. Year-on-year change, it's gone up 10%. Look, guys, we're at half the population of the world, and it still went up 10% year over year. So are there more businesses online than there were before? Absolutely. But there's also a hell of a lot more customers. A lot. So find them. Okay. 7.5 social media platforms used. Start with one. So we're starting with Facebook. Let's see. So yeah, 93% of internet users are on social media. That's something to remember. So organic versus paid ads. Organic is the number of people that see your content without paid distribution. Organic means what I put out inside of groups on my page, posting on other people's page, what they see or who sees my posts versus if I went out and I ran an ad. Paid reach that's me putting content out and then paying Facebook to put it in front of different people, right? Two major reasons Facebook organic reach continues to drop, because there is more content and then personalized news feeds. So in order to stay relevant with organic, I've got to be relevant to my user, my followers, to those that I want to follow me. So that content has to be tailored to them. It isn't, if the content, this is why people struggle with the niches, because a lot of times we put out content and we'll get into hashtags and we'll get into other keywords and things, but we go, oh, here's my niche, and I customize my funnel for my niche, but then my content is trying to be everything to everybody. right? Well, I don't want to eliminate things. You can be honest with yourselves. I know some of you have done it. I just want to put something out because then everybody's going to see it. No, they won't, because Facebook won't let them. Because Facebook says, Jamie doesn't want to look at this crap. This has nothing to do with her. John hasn't liked this kind of stuff before. I'm not going to show it to him. So just because you think it would go great for everybody, Facebook says, nope, sorry, that's not how the game is played. And yeah, I'm being a little flippant because every single month, someone goes to Blake, someone comes to me, someone goes to Darren. Hey, I don't want to do a niche. Why do I have to do a niche? I think I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to reach everybody. Okay, great. Go take your ball and go home, right? I mean, yeah, it is Friday. It's a little bit, we're end of the week. Maybe that was why I wasn't recording at the beginning of the call, Bruce. Facebook isn't going to pay attention just because you want to get it in front of everybody. They dictate what their client wants to see. Facebook wants people to stay on as long as possible. People stay on as long as possible when they see stuff that they like, right? So go ahead this weekend and try and focus on stuff that what I would do is watch stuff that I think my audience is going to watch. What are they going to watch? Because then I start to see what they're seeing. And then if I start interacting with that, then that's what I'm going to see as well. And then I'll be able to see them commenting on the same type of stuff that I'm seeing. I can comment along with them. So now I'm not hunting as much every single day. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? So I'm going to look at if a realtor if real estate is my niche, then I'm going to look at market reports, and I'm going to look at mortgage stuff, and I'm going to look at other realtors, and I'm going to look at home listings, and I'm going to, scroll through some of the reels, some of those short videos that are there to be seen, right? Like that's what I'm going to pay attention to, because then Facebook and Instagram, which is the same platform owned by the same company, right? They're going to show me more of that. So I'm going to see that. And then if I kind of slide into the comments on those, all of it, who am I going to see? A bunch of other people that are looking at the exact same thing, which happens to be my market. That's why it's important to understand your market. Now, if I go, oh, well, they're realtors and they're looking at these homes, and I want to post Kermit the Frog sipping tea and say, good morning, everybody. They're not going to show it. Now, I can post a picture of a house, or me in front of a house, or a realtor in front of a house, and I can have a long form content copywritten thing that's there with a couple of keywords and maybe a hashtag or two. That's the same hashtags that are on these videos that I'm watching, right? So if you're constantly seeing, you start to see things within your niche, you're constantly seeing those, pay attention to the hashtags that you're seeing, and those are the ones that I'm going to mimic. That's how I play with that algorithm with Facebook's organic reach. They're not going to show it just because you want them to show it. But it's not as complicated as you think. It's just, it's going to the restaurant and looking at the menu and seeing what's on that menu. And then you look around the restaurant, you go, all of these people are liking this food. And now I'm going to open up a restaurant that's got that same menu and, find a way to target those same individuals. Does that, I'm weird with my metaphors today, but does it make sense? Hopefully. Okay. So Facebook uses hundreds of thousands of factors. That's what I was just talking about. They are going to prioritize. They are going to narrow it down. So you should as well. So Facebook looks at a number of things. They look at how recently it was published, how frequently the person is posting, the number of likes and comments, how often you're interacting with them, they're interacting with you. That's the kind of thing that they're looking at. Those are just some examples. If I come to Facebook and I look, now, some people, you can come in and you can change your feed. If I go into settings, I could show most recent, but what it's going to start to show is sponsored. Okay. Junior is someone that I interact with, and he happens to be in real estate and an entrepreneur. So he and I see his stuff. Tim is my partner with my Control Digital Media. Sid's a partner that does Google advertising things, sponsored ad. But like that's 2 days old. If I scroll down, So it's not, understand, it's not always in chronological order. Jackie's is 20 hours. Why is she after the guy that posted 2 days ago? Right? It's not always chronological. And that's why sometimes you go, oh, well, I posted this and I didn't see it yet. Well, that's okay. Right? Just it'll come back around. You've got that opportunity as long as you get people interacting. So I'm not going to jump into the groups just yet, but those are some elements that they look for. You want to be real, right? So Facebook is based on interest, not intent. So don't, 80% of your stuff should be social, or 70% should be personal, right? Blake kind of talks about that here. He's got the 70, 20, 10. Real content though, people, not just buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Because I get that question sometimes. And almost every time I go, when someone asks the question, why isn't anyone buying? And then we go and look at their posts, they've got a handful of posts in the last month and every single one is trying to sell something. Don't do that. Has everything been removed from my business and personal accounts? From your Facebook, Nancy? You're on mute. Your Facebook? They wouldn't have removed it unless you were promoting something.
I wasn't even promoting anything.
Then they wouldn't have removed it. You might just have more than one account and you didn't realize it.
Well, I have 3, but they've all been.
Like, they don't remove stuff unless you ran an ad that was.
Did they just change everything and I can't get to it?
Not your personal. Like your personal, you should be able to see. I wouldn't create. I'd hold Tom. I'll comment on that in a second. But unless you've got multiple personal accounts, and I'm going to be real clear about this, don't have multiple personal accounts. That's bad for Facebook business. If they catch you, they'll shut them all down because you look like you're trying to get away with stuff, right? Over the last 6-10 years, multiple accounts, same IP address, different things like that. Now, multiple business pages, you can have as many business pages as you want with the same personal account. Don't do new personal accounts. That's not good practice. Okay.
So do we close the old, sorry, Andrew, so do we close the old one down? We had to open a new Facebook. Because I had
open a new one? Why do you want to open
I had one and I had a Facebook specialist to check it all, and she said there was too many, I was banned from doing things, and they closed some pages down, and she said it was impossible for me to, when I started Blake Newber's program, she said it was crazy for me to try that. So I opened up under new email address, a new Facebook profile. Now I'm trying to move the friends from the old into the new one. So
I mean, if you want to close and delete the old one completely and don't try and interact, like build organically, like tell people to come over and do the new one, but delete the old one completely. Don't have multiple personal accounts.
Right.
Facebook doesn't like that. And if you if you opened a new one because the old one got banned from different stuff because you were advertising things or did something that they didn't like, you're on a fast track to get the new one banned too.
All right.
Andrew, my children opened one for my husband when he died, just to get the information out, but I don't think it was under my name.
Well, as long as it wasn't under your name or your personal email, that's different, right? If they opened up one different name, different email, then that wouldn't affect yours. What you need to do is make sure you've only got the one personal under your name, your email. And then as long as you have that, like they don't erase your content. They don't do that. Even if you've got a page, a business page that you're doing stuff that isn't like that, they might unpublish it, but they don't erase it. Like an actual business page, they might unpublish it to where you've got to fix it to get compliant to put back up, but they don't do that with a personal one.
How do I go about fixing it?
It depends on what's wrong.
Okay.
So I would message support and see if they can maybe take a look and see what you've got, but you should be able to log in and use your personal page.
Now, one I think is considered a blog, one is a business, and one is a personal.
Well, so you would have personal, and then a blog is a business page, and a business is a business page. So that's, I mean, and your personal page can have as many business pages as you want connected to it.
If you close your old account, does all your old business pages close too?
Yes. But the old business pages are what got you in trouble.
Yeah, because my son was using mine and he was doing ads and stuff, and I got blocked all over the place. So I would
unpublish those pages and then shut down the personal account.
Unpublish the business pages.
The business pages, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then close the personal, because you're essentially wiping the slate. You're starting from scratch.
Right.
Is
Cool.
what you're trying.
That makes sense. Thank you.
So real quick, Lynn, it's difficult to navigate because they're not in chronological order. Unfortunately, right now, so there is a way that in settings you can go in and put most recent. It's easier on a phone than it is on the computer. It's just an extra step, and it's a hassle because most recent for them doesn't mean most relevant. And they want to keep you on because their algorithm shows that they're most relevant, even if it's a day or two old. And I was just showing you, the 20-hour one is older than the other one. And we're scrolling through 19 hours, 4 days, 2 days. I'm not seeing anything that's within the last 5 hours. And I guarantee you people I know have posted in the last 5 hours, there's none of them here. Everything is other people. And then some of them, like Tom Black and Sid Pedenti and Tim Francis, who are my business partners in different things, and we're interacting and messaging each other all the time. I see their shit all the time. Everything that they post over and over and over again, it's all there. So but here's what you need to do is look at it like this. This is what your clients are seeing too. And if you can get relevant and get into that feed, then you'll be in front of them consistently. And if you notice, most of these are personal pages. Most of what's in the feed is going to be that personal side, right? There's a reason that we say do your personal and your business, because Facebook is going to prioritize that, because what Facebook wants your business page to do is run ads. So they're not going to help as much for organic growth with a business page. So just be willing to run, to put stuff on your personal. There's no reason not to. There really is no reason not to do that. Okay. So how to make some business accounts and some personal. So you have one personal page and then you can have different business accounts. I would not, Tom, I'm going to say this, you do what you want. I would not have multiple personal accounts unless you've got a private VPN that you can block everything, because multiple personal accounts, if you end up building to a point where you're running ads or you're doing other stuff, there's a very good chance that Facebook could come in and say, hey, you've got too many personal accounts. We're shutting you down, because they want you to have one. Just saying. Okay. Okay. I'm going to share these slides into the Skype group, into that channel. Go through it some, guys. Think a little bit about it. Next week is going to be intensive into Facebook, so be ready for that. If you have any specific questions about things, yeah, Tom, I'm telling you that, because you have, you're saying you've got different emails, different accounts. If the old accounts are shut down, you're fine. But I wouldn't open up one, because I knew guys that do that. It'd be like Andrew David, David Andrew, Andrew E. David, people that do that kind of thing. Don't do that. But I want a new account for my personal thing because I want to keep my family apart. If you guys remember, Darren was on last week. We talked about you can create a post and you can create groups inside your friends list to see who will see what. You can cordon them off like that, because Facebook doesn't want you to have multiple accounts, because that looks shady as hell. Right? Imagine if, when I was starting to date, that's what we were talking about at the beginning. If I walked up and there was that weird moment of like, what's your name? And for some reason my ID came out and it was a little bit off than this other, and they were like, I thought, Andrew, I thought you said your name was this. Oh, well, yeah, on that website, that's what I put, but really my name is this. And really, like, come on. Okay. So just be straightforward with that. Yeah, if they don't do anything for you, then yeah, shut them down. So next week, all week long, we're doing all sorts of different stuff with Facebook. We'll talk about posting. We'll figure out how to cordon off people. We'll set up a brand new page. We'll do all sorts of stuff. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Be safe. Be careful with all this heat, all this craziness in the world right now. Go out, enjoy yourselves for the weekend. I will talk with everybody on Monday.
Thank you, Andrew. As always, make it a great day, partners.
Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are.